this hill, you do have at least one president of Western State University up here. You have quite a few different community members up here. During this time, you had the integration didn't come by until like 1955, and they had all the schools segregated, all the grave sites segregated, and this is where the black people were buried. And you had quite a few. You had the places in Dunbar and other places that all the whites were buried. Once it got to the point where we could afford cars and trucks and things like that, it was very difficult to be able to get up. And if you did get up, you had one real bad place that you had to work with to get around. It was a large boulder right in the middle of the road, and very difficult to maneuver, get around it. The water would wash the road out, and people would come up and volunteer to take care of making it so that you could drive up. We have paid people to come up here and clean this up since we were getting monies from the plants and things like that. So we did have some cleaning up in this area. We also, Western State University had care days, and they have come up a few times and taken care of that. And there's been some very, very dedicated black men that would come up here and clean it off at least once or twice a year. So that made it much easier for us when we came up. I was told there's over 100 graves in this site right here. The people used to come out after someone had passed away and get into groups and actually dig the space for the person to be buried, and they would go ahead and bury it back and cover it back up when they finished. So it was a community job that they all worked together so that you could get your loved ones buried. Here right now I have my grandmother, my grandfather, two aunts, and an uncle buried here. My grandparents passed away in 1944, and as far as I can remember, once they passed away, my father used to come up here with all the kids and clean it up. And we had to walk up, carry all kinds of cleaning equipment, size and things to cut all the weeds. So most of the time when you got here, you cut it only one time a year. And we would always come down here, and where you see that we heaped the dirt up, that's where the actual grave is. And then we would take flowers that was planted by my grandparents and put them on the grave site. You know, the one thing that I am the most proud of is that my father always said that he wanted to buy a headstone for his parents, and for some reason he could never get enough money to do it. So it was last year that some of our family members actually came in here and paid for these stones, something that he had been wanting to do for 50 years. So in memorial to my aunts, my grandmother, my grandmother, my grandfather, uncle, and it was another aunt over the hill there. We did make sure that we had a little ceremony to put these headstones here.